6, Alec Morrison.
District 7, David Hudson.
District 8, Michael Gunn.
District 9, Wendy Sheridan.
District 10, Brad Redden.
District 11, Diane LeBlanc.
Thank you. Are there any disclosures of interest? Thank you. The order of the day.
I would like to request to add 2 items under in-camera. So we have to add an in-camera because we have one on the agenda. 22.2C, contract negotiation, and F, litigation or potential litigation of the municipal government.
Thank you. Moved by Deputy Warden, seconded by Councillor Longmire.
Is there another addition to today's agenda?
Yeah, new business. Can we do the...
Let's just do this one.
No, we do them all after you amend the agenda, then you approve your amended order of the day.
I would like to add new business, the IMSA with Valley Waste and King's Transit.
Thank you. Further. Okay. As I said, moved by the Deputy Warden, seconded by Councillor Longmire to adopt the order of the day as amended. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. Page 3, the minutes. Okay. Page 12. Councillor Gunn, would you like that one?
It doesn't matter, Councillor Barton doesn't matter, but I'll read it. I recommend that municipal council authorize the clerk to issue a vendor on municipal property permit for the 2024-25 fiscal year to Tom Marshall for the operation of Tom's Cool Bus Canteen at the Annapolis River Causeway Park in accordance with S6 commercial activity on municipal property bylaw. And further, to request staff to issue a temporary permit for a 2-week permit effective May 8th in accordance with the recommendation of the Committee of the Whole.
Okay, seconded by Councillor Bartow. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Councillor Connell, would you like the next one?
Yes. I recommend to municipal council to approve policy 117, fire service capital funding pursuant to 7-day notice given on May 7th, 2024.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Hudson. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. We are now on page 13. Councillor Prout, please.
Thank you. I move that municipal council initiate the road name review process to review the duplicate road name of Pleasant Street in Wilmot and Pleasant Street in Melbourne Square in accordance with the recommendation of Committee of the Whole.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor LeBlanc. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
As I do from time to time, I wish to ensure that the public knows that we discuss these items in Committee of the Whole and give them a thorough airing according to our inclinations at that time. Thank you. Community Solar Program. Councillor Longmire, please.
I move that municipal council provide a letter of support to 4579183 Nova Scotia Limited in support of their application to the province of Nova Scotia for a community solar project on lands of PID number 05060207 196 Brooklyn Road, Brooklyn, Annapolis County, pursuant to the recommendation of Committee of the Whole.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Connell. Discussion.
Here.
Councillor Gunn.
Thank you very much. I've looked through this and looked into it, and I'll still be voting no for this. I don't like housing being built on farmland. I'm not a big proponent of housing being built on farmland. standalone industry moving to farmland. For that reason, I'll be voting against it. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion? I received a letter from a resident, 2 letters from the same resident, the second one after my reply, and I have given the contents of that letter consideration. Further discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed?
Right here.
1. Motion carried. Thank you. Deputy Warden, please.
I move that municipal council repeal AM-2.7.8 COVID-19 vaccination policy in accordance with 7-day notice given on May 14th, 2024.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Longmire. Discussion, please.
Right here, please.
Councillor Gunn.
Thank you very much, and I'm glad, what I want to say is I'm glad to see that we're getting rid of what I and others believe is a shameful, unconstitutional policy. And further, I applaud whoever came up with the idea to repeal it. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Carried. Deputy Warden.
I move that municipal council repeal AM-2.7.9 COVID-19 response policy pursuant to 7-day notice given on May 14th, 2024.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Hudson. Discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carried. Property tax. Fine. Where did we do that? Oh, that's right. Sorry, Deputy Warden.
I move that municipal council repeal AM-6.2.1 COVID-19 property tax financing program policy in accordance with 7-day notice given on May 14th, 2024.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Sheridan. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Thank you. Councillor Connell, please, Fire Services.
I move that municipal council repeal AM-1.4.10 Annapolis County Fire Services Association grant policy pursuant to 7-day notice given on May 14th, 2024.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Prout. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Inaugural council meeting, Deputy Warden.
I move that council approve the policy 119 respecting inaugural meeting of council in accordance with 7-day notice given on May 14th, 2024.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor LeBlanc. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Against? Motion carried. Thank you. Committees of council. Councillor Sheridan, please.
I move that municipal council amend policy 116, committees of council and council meeting procedures to remove Article 1, inaugural meeting, and renumber pursuant to 7-day notice given on May 14th, 2024.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor LeBlanc. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Carried. Valley Deputy Warden, please.
I move that municipal council authorize staff to provide a notice of intention to Valley Waste Resource Management on or before July 1st, 2024, expressing that the municipality wishes to extend or renew the service agreement beyond March 31st, 2025, in accordance with the recommendation of the Committee of the Whole.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Gunn. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. Next, Councillor Gunn.
Oh, thank you. I move that municipal council enter into an agreement with Mersey Tobiatic Research Institute for part of PID 05101480 Hollow Mountain Road for their Woodlands for Wildlife program, provided the protection does not impact the future development of the remaining lands pursuant to the recommendation of the Committee of the Whole.
Thank you. seconded by Councillor Hudson. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Carried. Councillor Gunn, please.
Thank you. I move that municipal council send a letter of support to Save Our Old Forest, SOOF, who are requesting Beals Brook and Goldsmith Lake Wilderness areas to be designated by the province as protected sites in accordance with the recommendation of the Committee of the Whole.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Prout. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Pass. Councillor Gunn, please.
I recommend to that municipal council further develop the ecological forestry initiative on the Greywood location and neighboring lots owned by the county pursuant to the recommendation of the Committee of the Whole.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Connell. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. Page 15.
Thank you.
In addition, I want to say that one of the, I guess, privileges or should be interests of the warden is to get to as many places as possible. And on Sunday, I came to the 3 and 5 kilometer fun run and walk here. I had the fun, but I did neither the run nor the walk. I spoke with people who were looking after the raising of funds for the pool located in Annapolis Royal. And on Sunday afternoon, I went to a gathering at the library to hear a presentation from a lady from Western France who knows a lot about the wives of Degas and Champlain. And it was interesting in that besides the great information she gave us, there were about 30 or 35 people there. There were 3 males and 32 females. And as I said to the person sitting beside me, it appears as if the husbands of the county have no interest in the wives of historical figures.
Thank you.
All right, motion to go in camera, please.
No.
Now we got the extended tracking.
And then press it on.
I always follow the wrong piece of paper. New business, Deputy Warden.
Yeah, so we had our IMSA meeting last Wednesday, and although staff of the IMSA have been getting the hurry up about giving us the details on the on the framework of the governing body since probably January, we still haven't gotten much for details from them, and they don't expect to get them to us until the June meeting, which I believe is the 19th of June. Now, technically, the IMSA expires on July 12th, and I've reminded the staff that that is also the end of funding, which means their pay. Anyways, they if they have things ready before June 19th, they will have a special meeting of the IMSA, and I will have more information for you then. But timelines are very tight, and whatever comes back, we may have special meetings or something to deal with them. I don't know. Up to the warden and the CAO, but yeah, that's where it sits.
Any comments or questions for Deputy Warden on IMSA, Councilor?
Oh, you, sir? Oh, I thought you said something. Yes, the IMSA, how many years have we been trying to get this going now? I think this is what, 4?
2.
3. 2 years.
2 years of the IMSA.
2 years since the IMSA, okay.
So, well,
I thought it was longer than that, but anyway, so we'll get it.
no, it's so the initial entering into the agreement was probably
3 years.
September of the July before, and that was the first time we had it. I think by the time we signed on, it was December or January, and then they had problems hiring a director, and he did not start until July 12th, which is what started the 2-year clock.
The 2-year clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
when we-
IMSA has been a functioning body for 2 years, but we've been dealing with it for,
Yeah, good.
since the
Thank
last
you.
election, basically.
Coming together.
And you said the agreement expires on July 12th?
I believe that's the date, sometime early July, the way it started,
We know what July 12th is?
the day after July 11th.
What's the significance?
I think it's July 12th. Anyway, if it is July 12th, when you look it up to see what happens on July 12th, my father worked on the railroad, and one day this fellow came to him and said, would you mind working my shift on July 12th so I can get in the parade that's going to denigrate you and the people you follow? Just look it up.
I have a question.
Yes.
Thank you. So basically next month, within a month after that, we will be discussing, is it only a discussion between the mayors and the IMSA group? All the mayors from the IMSA that get together to discuss? Or do they come to council and discuss? Yeah, it's a short period.
So the current thought among members of KTA and Valley Waste is they would like to continue forward with a single board running both those organizations. They have to take that to all their councils once that framework is there. But also, if we want to be a customer or become a member, that information has to come out to us as well. And what else is there to be done in there? That's, as you can imagine, trying to have that many conversations in 30 days and synchronize them all will be
It's not going to happen.
busy.
Councilor Sherry.
So what happens if nothing is resolved by July the 12th? Do we have to pay more to keep moving forward with this group?
That's a very good question. I think if we were to look at their budget numbers, and I'm just off the top of my head, there's, we've been under budget on things because, our budget numbers are under budget, but a lot of Dwight's salary over the last year can get billed back to King's Transit because he spent a lot of time managing King's Transit. So I don't think all the money allotted to the IMSA, because remember there's 3 budgets, King's Transit, Valley Waste, and the overtop IMSA budget. Not all of that money is technically spent, so I don't think it was a real hard July 12th deadline, but that also depends on all of us, right? Like, that's our contract, I would say our contractual obligation probably stops there, but if we're interested in continuing forward with these things, that conversation goes on, and I don't think we necessarily need to pony up dollars to keep it going a couple weeks to coordinate things. That's my sort of just gut feel of what I've heard around the table. Everybody seems to want to move forward, but we've not, like I said, the devil's in the details. I hadn't said that before, but everybody at the IMSA seems to want to move forward and work as a group. But, yeah.
And they want us on board in order to make it happen with King's, especially with King's Transit. There's no way they can function without our contribution.
Well, I mean, King's Transit would still keep going in Kings County, but we've, in the past, paid all the money for everything up this way. Like if we're not in on King's Transit, then Digby's not going to end up having a transit system either.
Right, it's based on our,
Yeah. Oh, well, that funding would be still there. That's already come from the feds, I think. I don't think us leaving would.
because their budget was, their funding was based on us.
Our
being a member.
route mileage, yeah, which is
Yeah,
a
because
pretty
that's
big
how they
part,
got the
yeah.
funding
Yeah.
in the first place. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
No, there's lots of moving
Lots of
pieces
moving
there,
parts.
yeah.
Councilor Holmberg.
Thank you. So is this where we had asked for options rather than just
Yes.
the one option that had been presented at our presentation?
Well, this is, so, we haven't presented with any options yet as council. That was a report to the IMSA about what they should do with King's Transit, and the contractor, looking at both of those options, recommended everybody be members. Because they were directed in the RFP to look at both options, and they made one recommendation to continue with everybody being members and not having service customers. What the IMSA decides to send out for options is a different question, and we, as members of the IMSA, but not Kings Transfer Valley Waste, said we want two options on the table for us. So it's, if the rest of the IMSA is going, well, we only want to do members like you recommended, it's pretty hard for me to be like, well, I'm going to take that. No, just, if I sat there and said, I'm happy with us just being members, that would be in direct conflict with what you guys have very adamantly told me. So, yeah, but it's, as you guys are all aware, it's
Work in progress.
goes to the table and what's going on, so.
So, there was quite a delay in getting started. I mean, to me, that's money, right? I know we signed a particular amount that we would pay to be part of this group in order to come to a resolve or, our position on where we would land as a either member or service user. I would not like to think that on July 12th, that, how can we be reassured that we're going to see options, not just their desire of an option for us? Because I know from the presentation, I felt that it was leaning in one direction, very heavy. And so I don't want to find that that is their, and I would understand why, they need us. It's obvious, right? And we do need those services in our county, so it's, I just want to be reassured that they're not going to just come back with the one and then make that as their greater pitch. I guess I'll leave it there.
Councillor Conwell, please.
And my only fear of being a member is that, and I've used the phrase many times over my career here, castle builders. They're already talking about building a brand new garage in Berwick. And if we're a full member, we're gonna pay whatever percentage our county's responsible for a brand new garage in Berwick. If we don't go electric buses and we went hybrids, then how much of that is not really concerned to us? But we're gonna pay for it. And that's my biggest fear, is that we get locked in on their pipe dreams because we're paying. And that's what it showed when they come down to the presentation, that they need us to be a partner, so we pay equal share for their pipe dream. And I'm not fond of taking our taxpayers' money and paying for buses, and it's their buses. It's our taxpayers' buses. And we've always bought our own buses. We paid for them to manage it. And in my mind, the management fees are getting high enough that if another transit company, especially in our own county, would step up to the plate and want to manage our 2 bus runs, I think we could do it a lot cheaper. I think we could do it in-house cheaper. Well, I tell you, I think that would be a sweet job for somebody that knew a little bit about mechanics and the job to manage 2 buses in our county.
I haven't brought up the waste yet.
But anyway, that's my fear, is that we'll get caught.
Deputy Warden?
So, to Councillor Longmire's comments about funding, although the project was delayed for 6 months, the only thing that's in the overarching IMSA budget is the salary for the manager, an accountant, and then some consulting stuff. So it getting delayed for 6 months, there was no money getting spent at that time. So it hasn't really, the delays haven't cost us money in that sense. And our finance position was unfilled for a fairly large part of the term. So there's a little savings there, but we also, the IMSA also ended up contracting out financial services when they couldn't hire a financial person. So that ended up being relatively neutral. It's a couple thousand one way or the other, I don't remember which. The conversations I've heard around Valley Waste is if we're not going to be a partner, then there'll be a fee on the risk. And Valley Waste now has a incredibly detailed cost model for working out what it costs to do everything. And I can't speak to much of the detail of the cost model. I mean, if we want to sit and have a conversation, you'd have an Excel spreadsheet up, and it's quite impressive how they can break the cost down by things. But the other thing I'll say both Valley Waste and King's Transit have both done in the last 2 years is strategic planning, which I don't think they ever had before, and that's something we're familiar with, how having some plans for the next 5 or so years really affect how things get done. We've spent a lot of time in the last 3 years ourselves developing plans for the next 5 years, so I completely understand Councillor Connell's concerns about what's going on, because sometimes it certainly seems like that Valley Waste does one thing. In particular, I can think of a couple of Valley Wastes that they've done one thing and then they've pulled back and changed it a few years down the road. And anyways, we're starting to, if we were going to get into a lot more detail, I think we're getting into contract negotiations.
Thank you. Further discussion? Thank you. We're now in Councilor's comments, right? Councilor's comments beginning with District 1.
Thank you. Good morning from District 1. I hope everybody enjoyed a wonderful Victoria Day weekend with family and friends. Since our last regular council meeting, I've attended a number of meetings along with my fellow councillors. In addition, I attended a meeting of the Annapolis Valley Regional Library Board, the May meeting of the Wilmot and Area Neighborhood Watch, the County Rec meeting, as many of us have had around. I attended the one in Melbourne Square, the Police Day celebration at the Middleton Rotary Park, and along with the chairman of our Police Advisory Board, Mr. Behringer, Dane Behringer, we attended the Police Services meeting in Liverpool last Friday. And I've also spoken with a number of residents of Annapolis County on a variety of issues, as I'm sure we all have. With the warmer weather now here, activity in the county appears to be, or is, on the rise. Our local farm markets often have their own greenhouses, which are now providing fresh local products and produce to their businesses, along with other local produce that they bring in and have in stock. Please strongly consider buying local when you're out shopping. It's a great benefit to both our communities and to the county. And finally, I know you've all been waiting to hear this, the largest outdoor flea market in the county, which is located in Wilmot, has been open on the weekend since the 1st of May, and is full of bargains to be found by those who drop in for a visit. So I'll be checking for cars to see that you're all there on the weekend.
Have you got a booth?
No, I don't have a booth, no.
Is it open both Saturday and Sunday?
Yes, yeah. Thank you, that's it for District 1.
Greetings from District 2. We had a few meetings this month to deal with fire services and our recreation meetings. We had a good recreation meeting in Port George. But at our hall in Port George, our jam sessions are on Monday nights, and they seem to be going fairly well for this time of year. It's just starting up. I know that the Northern Lights was a big issue along the shore a week ago. They told us at the rec meeting that it was just like downtown Halifax. The cars were lined up all on the road, they were in driveways, and I guess the main event didn't start till 1 or 2 in the morning, so some of them fell asleep and missed it. But great to see that people are out and using the park and stuff over there. Garden shops all through our county are open. Flowers and vegetable seedlings and small growth are everywhere through our county, like I say. So shop local. Farming's been pretty good this year as far as it's been dry, so haven't had a lot of complaints about mud on our roads. But when people are driving around, it is a farming community, and a lot of times they do track mud from their fields out onto the road. Just be patient with them, and hopefully they'll get it cleaned up. Thank you.
District 4.
Thank you. Greetings from District 4. I'm going to make it short, sweet. Been many meetings the past month to take care of county business, which I'm not going to itemize at this time, but council's been busy. Glad to see the weather is starting to warm up. Not so glad that it's bringing the black flies. And to follow up, the final comment is Rochelle Hall will be having its regular pancake breakfast at May the 25th, 9 to 11. And there's every week there on Thursday nights, there's card nights at 7 p.m. If I've missed one of the other community halls events, I apologize, but that's the one I did know of this morning when I jotted down a few notes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning from District 5. This month I want to give a special shout out to all of the county employees who work tirelessly in our districts, from hosting meetings and approving permits to conducting inspections, managing water and sewer systems, facilitating projects, taking minutes, organizing recreational events, reporting to the council on concerns, cleaning up our parks, creating trails, receiving and reviewing grant applications, and so much more. Your dedication does not go unnoticed. On behalf of the citizens in District 5, I wish to thank each and every Annapolis County employee for their hard work. Healthcare Recruitment Conference held in Truro. I was fortunate to attend the Healthcare Recruitment and Retention Community Conference held in Truro on April 23rd and 24th. We all face common challenges, and coming together to address these challenges was a powerful exercise. The goal was to make the recruitment process smarter, provide support, and meet the needs of all parties involved. Our priority was unity in the community and newcomers' success. Spring and NSFM in Cape Breton, so the Nova Scotia Federation of Municipalities. Members of the Nova Scotia municipalities gathered at the Spring NSFM at the beautiful Invenary in Inbedeck. Our guest speaker was Brad Gashu, delivering an outstanding remark that laid a solid foundation for the conference. His words often resonated with me. Keep working hard, don't give in, and most importantly, don't give up. Fight hard for what you believe in, and be humble. Topics at the conference included reliable cellular and internet services for Nova Scotia, essential, especially in rural Nova Scotia. The work is ongoing and close to connecting us all. Youth engagement. Summits in various communities highlighted the importance of listening to our youth, involving them in discussions and recognizing their crucial role in our community's future. Including our newcomers is equally important. Coastal protection, provincial commitment to providing a team of experts to aid municipalities in their planning. I am always inspired by the opportunity to meet and discuss common concerns, see how others have solved challenges in their communities, and recognize the importance of collective voices and views. It is more than just time away from the office. It's a valuable opportunity to learn from others. I thank the county for the opportunity to attend these events. Thank you.
Thank you. Things are going swimmingly in District 6, and we are looking forward to an enhancement from an accessibility and standard use point of view of the parking space in the highly popular Fundy View Park. Thank you.
Yes, greetings from District 7. I hope everyone had a good weekend, a Victoria holiday weekend. I, like a lot of the councillors that have already spoken, attended many meetings during the month. As well, I attended the Nova Scotia Federation of Municipalities Conference in Bedeck, along with Councillor Bardo, Longmire, and Ritton. It was a very worthwhile session, and it was unfortunate that the last day of the conference had to be cancelled. There was a complete power outage in that whole area, right? And so they had no alternative other than to cancel the meeting. Other than that, I'll only comment on one more thing, and that has to do with the banking machine in Bridgetown. I guess you all are aware that the Bank of Nova Scotia is closing in Bridgetown in November, and I guess last week it was perhaps not announced, but it was made aware, people were made aware that they were going to install an ABM in Bridgetown. Now, I guess I want to clarify something. The term ATM and ABM have been tossed around. To my knowledge, they're basically the same, right? I think if you do some research, you'll find that the term ATM is an American term for a banking machine, whereas the term ABM is the Canadian term. The machines, to my knowledge, do the same things. They can either be full-service machines, or they can be simply what they call cash dispensing machines. I guess it's been said that the machine in Bridgetown is going to be a full-service machine. I doubt if that's going to happen. I don't really see the Bank of Nova Scotia putting a full-service machine in Bridgetown, which will have to be serviced out of Greenwood. The location of the machine, I've been told, is going to be at Graves' store in Bridgetown, and will basically be a small machine that will sit in a corner somewhere for people to get some cash, okay? That it won't be a full-service machine. That's basically the information that I received on that. I believe it was correct, but I stand to be corrected on both my comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
District 8 report, good morning and happy May. It's an especially reflective day today as it's the International Day to recognize cultural diversity for dialogue and development. How's that? This is particularly relevant in my district since the conversations I've had with constituents have included how to be heard and become better represented at the 3 levels of government. Other communications have addressed the need for more recreation opportunities in District 8, the need for residents to support community halls, specific planning issues and bylaw restrictions, significant road issues, and employment. April was a busy month for many of the church and community halls to offer spring markets and fundraisers. I'd like to recognize the many volunteers who are keeping these centers open and thriving for the residents. I was also honored to attend the Bear River Fire Department banquet that recognized the service of many of its members and to thank them for their commitment. There was also a fundraising supper for the Bear River Health Center that was well attended and a fabulous meal. And of course, the famed Maple Fest of South Milford was an enormous success as always. I'm looking forward to the Foresters Hall Spring Market in Clemensville next Saturday, and hope it's also a well-attended event. The Forestry Committee met twice, and recommendations have been made to Council. There was a steady flow of people to the meeting in Bear River about bringing water to the downtown core, and I would like to thank our staff for explaining the progress they have made and the upcoming plans. The community certainly appreciated the updates. And I hope everyone is enjoying the sunshine and has given some thought to putting in a garden this year. It's looking like a great growing season ahead of us. And there's one more thing I'd like to add. I really hope from my heart that this year during our natal days and cherry carnivals and such, that folks will take the time to gear up a float and join us in the parades and celebrate our union as Canada. Thank you.
Thank you. District 9.
Thank you. From District 9, just a couple things. The Nicktaw Playground Group is doing garbage collection cleanup in Lorcon subdivision Sunday, May 26th. That's this Sunday at 10:30. Afterwards, there's a barbecue at noon at the playground. And the only other thing I have is our next Fire Hall Bingo is May the 25th. Thank you.
Thanks. I found sometimes you're sitting around listening to people and the wording they use on things it's very nice. And mud, in particular, on the roads I wouldn't have used mud, but I appreciate a good euphemism when I hear one. Anyways, the Annapolis County Exhibition 50/50 raffle is on, and you can get your tickets online or through the exhibition website or their Facebook page, and also the New Germany Farm Market has started for the season. It runs on Fridays until October 11th.
Sorry, which one?
New Germany. Everybody in Springfield goes to New Germany.
New Germany.
So yeah, one of the major questions I had during the last election was how do we secede? So that's on Fridays, runs until October 11th, beginning at 2 p.m. in the afternoon and continuing until 6 p.m. That's all.
Thank you. Mr. Long.
Thank you. Well, it's this time of year where the warm weather is out and we're out and about doing different things and doing different activities. So I'd like to take this time to say, please be safe wherever you are. The motorcycles are out, different types. You have to watch for them. You have to watch for children that are on bicycles. You have to watch yourself on the waterways, on the roads, and even on the trails. So please be safe. The next part is that I'd like to tell you about the turkey supper that's going to be happening in 2 days from now. And it is at the Three Rivers Community Center and on 41 Messenger Road, Torbert Mines. The amount is $18 for a full turkey supper. You have to pre-order, and the pre-order is, last day is today, of course, which is 902-824-3605. It's a time that you go and encourage the volunteers that are working at all these individual centers that they have to raise money to try to embellish and help and have things for other people to go and join them at different activities that are going on, and to keep the recreation going there, as well as even other things like music night, etc. So please take the time and check out their Facebook page, because there's always something going on. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Could I have a motion to go into camera, please, under MGA 22-2C, Deputy Warden, seconded by Councillor Longmire. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.